After discovering my husband's secret affair, I booked a romantic weekend getaway, but not with him. When he called, I answered breathlessly, "Can't talk, someone's waiting in bed." He laughed, "Very funny." Then I sent a picture. Moments later, my phone exploded with calls. I whispered to my new lover, "Let him suffer." But when I got home, the real revenge had just begun. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to do something like this. I always saw myself as calm, rational, the kind of wife who believes in communication. If something was wrong, I'd sit down and talk it out. I'd work through the issue. I'd listen. That was before I found out my husband was screwing someone else. It started with a text. I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't suspicious. I wasn't snooping. I was just sitting in bed, scrolling through Instagram, when his phone lit up beside me. He was in the shower. I wasn't even going to check it, but then I saw the preview. "Can't wait to see you again, babe. Last night was amazing." My stomach dropped. At first, I thought I was seeing things. Maybe I misread it. Maybe it was an old message. Maybe, God, I don't know, maybe it was spam. But then I noticed something. The little chat bubble under the message. The typing indicator. Whoever sent it was still there. They were waiting. I don't even remember unlocking his phone. My fingers moved on their own. No passcode change. He trusted me that much. The second I opened the conversation, I felt sick. Months. Months of texts. Pet names. Plans. Inside jokes. He wasn't just sleeping with her, he was dating her. Calling her beautiful. Talking about how much he missed her. Saying he wished he could spend more time with her. And the worst part? He called her the same things he called me. It was like I wasn't even special. I was just one of two. I stared at the messages for a long time. The normal thing to do, the expected thing, would have been to confront him. To scream, cry, demand answers. Maybe throw his shit onto the lawn, kick him out, tell all our friends what a lying, cheating bastard he was. But something inside me went cold. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to throw a fit. I was going to hurt him. Badly. So I shut off his phone, placed it back where it was, and smiled to myself. By the time he stepped out of the shower, I was calm. "I was thinking," I said sweetly, "we should go on a little getaway. Just us. You've been so stressed lately. I want to do something nice for you." His face lit up. Guilt. Good. That's how cheaters work. They try to overcompensate. They make you think they love you more than ever, when in reality, they're just afraid of getting caught. "That sounds amazing, babe." So I booked it. A luxury resort in Napa Valley. Private villa. Outdoor hot tub. Everything. But there was one small detail. I wasn't taking him. Instead, I invited someone else. A man I met through work, a friend of a friend. Let's call him Jake. Jake was gorgeous. Tall, fit, an ex-athlete. And best of all, he knew the situation. I told him everything. He was more than happy to help. "I've always wanted to be part of a revenge scheme," he said. The plan was simple. I'd pack my bags, kiss my husband goodbye, tell him I was going ahead to set things up, and then disappear for a full day. Let him wonder. The weekend arrived. I played my part perfectly. Gave him a long kiss at the door. Told him I'd text when I got there. Then I turned off my phone and enjoyed myself. For the first time in a long time, I actually felt free. Jake and I drank wine. Walked through the vineyard. Laughed. I let myself relax in a way I hadn't in years. Meanwhile, my phone was blowing up. "Hey babe, you okay? Haven't heard from you. Where are you? Let me know you got in safe. Why aren't you answering? This is weird. Can you just text back?" Then came the calls. One after another. Ignored. Finally, after 24 hours, I picked up. "Hey," I said, breathless, like I'd just been very busy. His voice was sharp. "What the hell? Where have you been?" I smiled. "Can't talk," I whispered. "Someone's waiting in bed." There was silence. Then he laughed. Like I was joking. "Huh, very funny, babe. What's up?" I opened my camera roll. And sent the picture. Jake, shirtless, in our resort bed, grinning at the camera. My hand on his chest. The moment it delivered, my phone exploded. I didn't answer. Not the first call. Not the second. Not the sixth. I let him panic. Let him stew in it. When I finally picked up, his voice was shaking. Are you serious right now? Who the hell is that? I yawned. Are you serious right now? I mocked. Who the hell is she? Silence. Yeah, I said. Thought so. Then I hung up. And I enjoyed the rest of my trip. When I got home, I expected a fight. Yelling. Maybe even begging. What I didn't expect. His real revenge had just begun. Because the second I stepped into the house, I saw it. The empty closet. The missing suitcases. And a note on the kitchen counter. You're not the only one who knows how to play dirty. Enjoy your little revenge. I'm moving in with her. I stared at it for a long time. Then I laughed. Oh, he thought this was over? It was war. I stood there, staring at that stupid note. Moving in with her? He actually thought this was a win for him. He thought he had the upper hand. I laughed. Out loud. Right there in the kitchen. Because what my cheating husband didn't realize was, he had no idea who he was dealing with. I wasn't done. Not even close. I took my time looking through what he left behind. Not much. A few shirts in the laundry basket, some old sneakers by the door. He didn't even take his cologne. He packed fast. Sloppy. Probably pissed. Probably desperate to make a statement. I walked to the bedroom. Closet half empty. His side of the bathroom sink cleared out. But the safe? Still there. And unlocked. Idiot. I pulled it open, my heart pounding. Inside? His passport. Our joint bank documents. A stack of credit card bills. And the best part? A folder labeled for taxes, filled with printed emails and invoices from his business. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who keeps their most important paperwork in a safe and then leaves it unlocked? A dumbass. That's who. I flipped through the pages, barely breathing. And then I saw it. A name. A woman's name, but not hers. Not the woman he moved in with. Someone else. Oh. My husband was a serial cheater. I didn't call him. Didn't text. Didn't let him know what I found. Instead, I did what any sane, wronged woman would do. I dug deeper. First stop. Our bank. I went in, played the confused wife role, and asked for a copy of our most recent joint account statement. Guess what? He had been withdrawing cash. A lot of it. Almost 10 grand over the last 6 months, in amounts too small to notice right away. And where was that money going? Well, funny enough, I already had an idea. The next day, I went to his office. Technically, it was our office. He started his business after we got married, and we built it together. My name was on the paperwork. I did the finances. The branding. The networking. Everything. But after a while, he started treating it like it was his. Like I was just helping out. Like he was the genius behind it all and I was just the supporting wife. Well. That was about to change. I walked into the office, all smiles. The receptionist, who used to be my hire before my husband took over, looked nervous. Oh. Hey. I thought you were out of town. I leaned on the counter. Yeah, quick trip. Is my husband in? She hesitated. No. Not today. Liar. I smiled wider. No problem. I'll just grab something from his office. She looked like she wanted to stop me but didn't know how. I brushed past her and pushed the door open. Empty. Good. I went straight to his desk, opened his laptop, and logged in. I still knew his password. Of course, I did. I pulled up his emails. I wasn't even shocked anymore. There she was, the woman from the invoices. They weren't just hooking up. He was paying her. For consulting. For services. For things that had nothing to do with work. And the best part? He was using company funds. Let me repeat that. He was using our company's money to fund his little side piece. Illegal. Very illegal. I sat there for a long time, just soaking it in. I could call him right now and blow everything up. I could text him proof. I could drag him through the dirt, tell his new girlfriend, tell his employees, tell everyone. But no. That would be too easy. I wanted him to feel it. I wanted him to lose. So I started forwarding emails. To myself. To my lawyer. To the IRS. By the time I left the office, I had enough dirt to ruin him. Not just in our marriage. Not just socially. Financially. Legally. Completely. And the best part? He still had no idea what was coming. I went home. Poured myself a glass of wine. Sat on the couch, legs crossed, phone in my hand. Then, I did something I'd been dying to do. I called his new girlfriend. Her voice was sweet when she picked up. Hey. Who is this? I smiled. Oh, honey. I think we need to talk. There was a long pause on the other end of the line. I could almost hear her thinking, trying to place my voice. Who is this? She asked again, but softer this time. I let the silence stretch. Then I said, very gently, I'm his wife. Boom. Dead quiet. Then, a sharp inhale. No. No, he said you guys were separated. He said, I laughed. Did he? When? Because as of last week, we were sleeping in the same bed. Her breath hitched. That got her. Good. I leaned back, taking a slow sip of my wine, waiting. I don't understand, she said finally. Her voice was shaking. She was starting to get it. You and I both got played, sweetheart, I said. But the difference is, I'm not the one moving in with a liar. She let out a choked noise. Then, she hung up. I set my phone down, smiling to myself. Because that wasn't the real twist. That was just the first one. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Him. I let it ring. Then again. And again. By the 5th time, I answered. Yes? His voice was sharp. What the hell did you do? I yawned. Just had a little chat. Why? Something wrong? You talked to her? He cut himself off, exhaling hard. She's gone. She kicked me out. I sat up, alert. Oh. She said I lied. Said she's not gonna be some side chick, that she's not gonna be my second choice. I actually laughed. Second choice? Oh, he had no idea. I didn't even have to say anything. I could hear it in his voice, he was spiraling. I had hit him exactly where it hurt. But what he didn't know? That wasn't even my biggest move. I had an appointment the next morning. A meeting with a very eager IRS agent. See, when I forwarded those emails, I included all the juicy details. The fake invoices. The money being funneled through the company. The fact that he was committing tax fraud without even realizing it. The agent was thrilled. Honestly, this makes our job easier, she said, flipping through the papers. Thank you for bringing this in. Oh, you're so welcome. And just like that, the wheels were in motion. The next part? Even better. Because my husband, ex-husband-to-be, had been so busy moving in with his little girlfriend that he forgot one small thing, our house. The one he so dramatically left. It was in my name. And I was about to sell it. That night, he showed up at the front door. I saw him through the peephole. He looked like hell. Wrinkled shirt, unshaven, pacing like a damn lunatic. I let him knock. Then knock again. Then, finally, I opened the door, just a little. His eyes were wild. What the hell are you doing? I blinked at him. I don't know what you mean. You sold the house? I tilted my head. Technically, I'm selling it. Paperwork's almost done. He just stared at me, like he couldn't believe it. Like I had suddenly become a whole different person. You can't do that, he finally said, voice low. I smiled. Actually, I can. He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Now that made me laugh. I don't know, I said. Maybe that other girl's house? What was her name again? Oh, right, the one you were paying off with company funds? His face went white. Because he finally got it. He hadn't just lost me. He was losing everything. And the best part? I wasn't done yet. He was still standing there, face pale, hands clenched into fists at his sides. His whole world was crumbling, and he knew it. I let him soak in the reality for a moment. The house? Gone. His reputation? Wrecked. His finances? Under investigation. And worst of all? He had no one left to run to. His mistress had kicked him out. His business was about to take a massive legal hit. And now? I was the last person who even bothered to answer his calls. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Why are you really here? He blinked. I just need to talk. I laughed. Oh, now you want to talk? Now that your whole life is in flames? His jaw tightened. It's not like that. I shook my head, stepping outside, letting the door close behind me. I wasn't going to let him set foot inside again. Then what is it like, huh? Enlighten me. He took a breath like he was about to launch into some grand excuse. Then, he hesitated. His shoulders slumped slightly, and for the first time, I saw it. Fear. Not anger. Not arrogance. Not frustration. He was scared. Look, I fucked up, he admitted. I really fucked up. I stayed quiet, letting him keep talking. He ran a hand over his face. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what happened. I never meant for things to get this bad. I was stupid. I thought I could keep everything separate, I cut him off. No. You didn't think at all. His mouth shut. Do you even realize how long I defended you? How many times I told myself I was just being paranoid? That I was overthinking? Do you know how humiliating it was to sit there, smiling like an idiot, while you were sneaking around? You lied to my face. And now? You have the nerve to act surprised that everything is falling apart? He exhaled sharply. I know. I get it. I don't know how to fix this. I tilted my head. Who said you can? He flinched. For a second, I thought he might start crying. But then, something changed. The remorse faded. His eyes darkened. And just like that, the real him came back. You're loving this, aren't you? His voice was lower, colder. There he was. The man who hated losing. I didn't even react. No, I'm just not falling for your bullshit anymore. He let out a bitter laugh. Jesus. You really think you're better than me, don't you? Oh, now we were doing this? Better than you? In what way? In the way where I don't screw around behind my partner's back? Or in the way where I don't commit actual fraud to impress some side chick? His eye twitched. You're not innocent either. I what? I took a step closer, staring him down. I what? I found out you were cheating and got a little revenge? Poor you. I'm sure that must have been so painful after the months you spent lying to me. He clenched his jaw, breathing hard. You didn't have to ruin my whole life. That was it. That was the moment I realized, he still didn't get it. I shook my head. I didn't ruin anything. You did. I just let you feel it. He swallowed hard. His face was unreadable. Then, he did something I never saw coming. He laughed. Not in a cocky way. Not in a mocking way. It was empty. Defeated. Then he looked at me, and for the first time since this whole mess started, I saw the man I used to love. And he looked so damn small. His voice was barely above a whisper. I lost everything, didn't I? I didn't say anything. Because yeah. Yeah, he did. The IRS case moved fast. Faster than I expected. Turns out, when you forward them a fully organized folder of fraudulent transactions, they don't waste time. His company got audited. His accounts were frozen. The employees, who used to treat him like some business genius, all turned on him the second they realized he'd been stealing from his own company. And the best part? He had no idea I'd already filed for divorce. He was served a week later. I didn't even have to see him. Just got a text, wow. Cold. Cold. I could have set his car on fire and still not been as cold as he deserved. The house sold fast. I made a great profit. I moved into a new place, a gorgeous apartment downtown with zero memories of him. Jake. The guy who helped me with my revenge? We stayed in touch. Nothing serious. Just two people who enjoyed each other's company. He never pushed for anything more. Just let me be. And for now? That was enough. And my ex? Last I heard, he was living in some tiny rental, bouncing between jobs, trying to stay afloat. Guess his soulmate didn't stick around when his money dried up. Shocker. People always say revenge is pointless. That it won't make you feel better. Maybe that's true for some people. But me? I slept like a baby. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. Because at the end of the day, I didn't just get even. I won. And he will never forget it.